My first video, scientific inquiry. So my experiment is going to be able to see the difference in these Cokes. This is a Coke Diet, this is a regular Coke. If one will sink to the bottom or if one will float to the top, and which one will do which. And my hypothesis is that, and I gathered this from information, my hypothesis is that the regular Coke will sink to the bottom and the Coke Diet will float to the top. If you actually feel the difference, Coke it's a little bit heavier. And the reason why is, or at least I think, is because of the added sugar in it. And what happens is there's no sugar in this one, and the added sugar in this changes the density, which is like how thick the liquid is inside of here. So my hypothesis was that this one will sink to the bottom, this one will float, and what happens is the sugar gets in between the water molecules, and it makes the overall molecules more tightly packed and like heavier. So if you put sugar in water, it'll make it more of a thicker substance. If you put your finger in it, it'll be more sticky and like thicker than water. And this should be less dense, less tight than the water. That's why it'll float. The water will push it up. And right here, it'll be more dense than water, so it'll come to the bottom. We're gonna test that theory right quick. Alright, so this is the Diet Coke. I'm gonna put it in the water, see if it floats to the top, see if it's less tightly packed, the liquid, than the water. If it is, it'll float to the top. Alright, as we can see, it's floating. I'm gonna try to push it down. It comes right back up. Alright, that proves part of my hypothesis that it is less dense than the water in here. And again, what I mean by less dense is it's thinner. It's not as thick as the water, alright, because it has no sugar in it. And now we're going to test the regular Coca-Cola, which has, 39 grams of sugar. And that's a lot of sugar, alright. I could probably hold that much in 2 hands right here. If I put that in water, it'd be a lot more thick, and it's all in this little tiny can. So it should be really sticky and really thick, so it should sink straight to the bottom. You can see right here. Ooh, that went straight down to the bottom. As you can see, it went straight down to the bottom. It didn't float like this one. Let's see if we can put them both in at the same time. See, and the only difference here is the sugar. So this proves that the added sugar sinks it to the bottom, sinks the regular Coke to the bottom, and the no sugar makes this one float to the top, because the sugar makes this one more dense when it mixes with the water molecules. And what I mean by that is the tiny little things that make up water, and it makes that liquid more thick than the water that's inside of this container. And right here, the Diet Coke is thinner than this water. And so this proves my hypothesis that the sugar makes the Coke sink to the bottom and the Diet Coke float to the top because of the density, or how thick the two liquids are. And that's the difference between the two.